Hello everyone. Today we're talking about a comedy drama about personal growth and self-discovery. Get ready for some surprising twists. Bill is a 40-year-old man who feels unhappy about everything in his life. He doesn't like how he looks, his marriage, his job at the bank, or really anything about his daily routine. He works at a bank owned by his father-in-law, but nobody takes him seriously there. One day at the local school where Bill volunteers, a young student ran into the bathroom trying to hide from the principal. The boy was dumping some packets into the toilet, probably trying to get rid of something he shouldn't have had. Bill saw this, but decided not to tell on the student. Later, the school principal told Bill about a program where adults could mentor students who needed guidance. The same boy who had been in the bathroom wanted to thank Bill for not getting him in trouble and tried to give him some money, but Bill refused to take it. Bill was involved in school activities. He had even started a chapel there and dreamed of becoming the town's mayor someday. However, his personal life was falling apart. During a conversation with a local news reporter named Chip Johnson, Bill accidentally hit his wife Jess in the face. He noticed that Jess was being overly friendly with Chip, who was a stranger to them. This made Bill suspicious and jealous. Even though Bill worked for his father-in-law's bank, he had his own business dreams. He wanted to open a donut shop and even asked his father-in-law to invest in a franchise. But his father-in-law said no, claiming he didn't eat donuts himself and that Americans were trying to avoid eating too many carbs. So Bill decided to pursue the business idea secretly. As promised, the school sent Bill a student to mentor. It was the same boy from the bathroom incident. However, Bill initially refused to participate in the program because he didn't want the responsibility of taking care of a student. When Bill came home that day, he found Jess talking flirtatiously with someone on the phone. He realized she was planning to meet someone while he was supposed to be away on a hunting trip with his father-in-law. Feeling stressed, Bill ate a chocolate bar even though Jess had told him to stop eating sweets. When he asked about the phone call, she lied and said she was talking to her mother. Bill received a call about the donut franchise opportunity, which made Jess curious and jealous about who he was meeting with. He also saw a school report that included his photo, and he felt embarrassed about his appearance, especially his stomach. He realized he really did have a problem with his weight. The next morning, Bill suggested to his wife that they could start their own business together. But Jess relied on her father for money matters rather than trusting her husband. Bill became annoyed with the reporter Chip Johnson and started making jokes by cutting out photos from magazines and playing around with pictures of both Chip and Jess. Jess didn't find this funny at all. 3 school children showed up at their house, and Bill had to walk them through the school building. He was grumpy about this, but did it anyway before going to his business meeting. The franchise owners, called the Whitmans, agreed to the deal but wanted to meet with Bill's wife because she also controlled the money he planned to use for the business. It turned out that everyone in town knew and respected Bill's older brother more than they knew Bill. Before going on the hunting trip with his father-in-law, Bill secretly installed a camera in his bedroom because he suspected his wife was cheating. His brother asked why he didn't tell his father-in-law that he didn't enjoy hunting, and Bill explained that he had to pretend because his father-in-law paid all their bills. 2 school children also came along on the hunting trip, which Bill didn't like. When the hunting dog wouldn't fetch a duck they had shot, Bill had to drag it himself. When they returned home, Bill immediately ran to check the hidden camera. What Bill saw on the video shocked him completely. Jess was indeed cheating on him with Chip Johnson, and they were even making fun of her husband. Angry and hurt, Bill couldn't decide who to confront first, Chip or Jess. He burst into the kitchen and showed his wife the camera, but she boldly declared that he had no right to invade her privacy. She even demanded that he give her the tape. Meanwhile, Chip was reporting from the hospital because Bill had attacked him, and Bill ended up at the police station. Surprisingly, the students at school really liked Bill and saw him as a real mentor. They greeted him with applause and cheers. The children didn't like the lying reporter either. One boy promised to help Bill with his wife problems. An employee walked into Bill's office and told him that the video of his wife had been sent to all bank employees via email. Jess was upset by this news, but she was more worried about how it would affect Chip's career than about her husband's feelings. Bill went to Chip's house and fired a shotgun at it. Chip was just dyeing his hair and asked Bill to stay away from him. Bill lost control again, knocked down his wife's lover, and this incident was also reported on the news. From his jail cell, Bill went to stay with his brother Paul, who invited him to go swimming together. Bill used to swim a lot, but now his old swimming clothes barely fit him. Swimming helped clear his mind and think better. Bill's father-in-law asked him to solve his family problems and be calmer. When Bill and the Whitmans were looking for a place to build their donut store, he lied and said he still couldn't arrange a meeting with his wife. The Whitmans then wanted to see the bank where their business partner worked. A schoolboy was sitting in Bill's office, and a girl also came in, complaining that she hadn't been invited to the hunt and claiming it was unfair discrimination. The boy enjoyed spending time with the unusual banker, and together they went to the store to buy Bill new swimming clothes. The student advised Bill to make Jess jealous to win her back. Bill bought binoculars to spy on his wife and Chip, as well as other women. The schoolboy came to visit him again, but the couple was being too loud, and Jess realized her husband was spying on her when his belly sticking out of the bushes gave him away. Jess put Bill's clothes in a garbage bag and told him she had seen him in the bushes with his young friend. Bill decided to dye his hair too, thinking that if Jess liked that kind of thing in Chip, maybe it would work for him. Bill continued swimming, and even in the pool, the schoolboy kept up with him. Looking at himself in the mirror, Bill decided to shave the hair on his chest. Then something unexpected happened. When he opened a chocolate bar, he didn't eat it, but threw it in the trash along with the rest of his sweets. Now Bill was going to update his entire wardrobe. His young friend offered to find him a girlfriend to help make his wife jealous. The boy was ready to pay a woman named Lucy $100 to pretend to be Bill's mistress. Lucy was hesitant, especially since she thought it was Bill's fault his marriage was failing. Finally, Bill found some clothes that didn't make him look bad. Feeling refreshed, he went to see Jess and gave her a gift. They had a family dinner that day, but Bill immediately lost his appetite when his mother-in-law told him the bread was made from acorns, and he almost broke a tooth on it. Suddenly, John, Jess's brother, started shouting and said Bill was an ungrateful person. He pointed out that the family had given him everything, even a job at their bank. Surprisingly, Jess stood up for her husband. Her father announced he was running for mayor and asked everyone to behave properly from then on. He didn't know that a video of his daughter was circulating online, made by his son-in-law. Bill invited his wife for coffee. Lucy, who had agreed to play the role of his mistress, approached them and began flirting with Bill. Then Bill suddenly started talking about how profitable the donut franchise could be. But his wife was more concerned about the video that millions of people had already watched online. Chip was waiting for Jess outside their house, and she wondered how Lucy was doing. Bill continued going to the pool, and swimming even awakened his competitive spirit again. Lucy pretended to be Bill's wife when they visited one of the Whitman stores together. Meanwhile, the schoolboy dipped his finger in frosting, which upset Mrs. Whitman because now the whole bucket would have to be thrown away. The boy then offered Lucy to try the chocolate, and she surprisingly wasn't embarrassed at all, and licked her finger. At the checkout, the trio encountered a difficult customer. Meanwhile, Bill's father-in-law asked him to set off fireworks at the family picnic, so he and his young friends went to buy them. After that, they went to the store and started having fun. Paul, Bill's brother, liked him better when he was a loser, and now he didn't really want him in his house. So Bill decided to spend the night in the yard in a tent. Bill seemed to be enjoying his transformation, and this time he wanted to shave his arms and legs too. Jess looked into Bill's office and was upset to see Lucy there. She wanted to invite her husband out but changed her mind. The teenager suggested that Bill have a party in the tent. Lucy invited her friend, and everyone got drunk. The friend decided to show off her body and invited Bill to check it out. But it all ended very badly. Everyone gathered for a picnic, including the Whitman couple, who were brought by a red-haired girl. Chip also came, but Bill was forbidden to come within 50 meters of him, so security guards dragged him to the parking lot. Bill wanted to drive around the area, but because of ducks that came out onto the road, he had an accident. As soon as Bill got out of the car, fireworks started going off, ruining the picnic and attracting everyone's attention. The injured Bill walked out on the road, where the schoolboy picked him up and took him to the hospital. Meanwhile, Lucy was having fun with the guy she had met, and she paid Bill back all the money he had spent on her recently. She said she didn't need payment to be his friend, but reminded him they were just friends. Jess came to check on Bill in the hospital. Her father decided not to make his announcement about running for mayor, and he was very angry with Bill. But Bill didn't care anymore. He was tired of trying to please his father-in-law. Jess also mentioned that the Whitmans were surprised to learn that she was his wife, not Lucy. Jess offered Bill a ride home, but he refused. Later, Bill went to his father-in-law and demanded to quit his job. He also said that in his opinion, hunting defenseless animals was terrible. His father-in-law wasn't upset, but said he would have done the same thing to Chip Johnson if he were in Bill's position. Bill went to meet with the Whitmans, and Jess was sitting in the office, having already made all the arrangements. Apparently, she hoped to save their marriage. However, Bill admitted he was going to give up the franchise. If Jess wanted, she could go into business on her own. Bill realized he didn't want to sell donuts or sit in a bank anymore, but most importantly, he didn't want to be everyone's servant. They should go their separate ways. The business banner was taken dues on, and their shared house was put up for sale. Bill visited his young friend one last time and advised him never to pretend to be someone he wasn't. Otherwise, one day he would find that his life was far from his dreams. Bill himself was heading off somewhere new, not knowing exactly where, but ready to start a fresh chapter in his life. This story shows how sometimes we need to lose everything we thought we wanted to discover what we really need to be happy.